Hello, my name is Joe Smith and welcome to What's On, your daily guide to a fantastic range of events that are happening in Sheffield. Alex is unavailable today, so I'll be looking after you for tonight's What's On. Stay tuned as I'll be giving you all the details of this weekend's events going on around Sheffield. As well as that, I'll be showing you a peek inside Bishop's House, Sheffield's oldest and best preserved example of a timber-framed 15th century building. And What's On talks to Joe Watt, one of the organisers behind St Mary's Church events, who will be telling us all about what's in store for their Sheffield Makers Fair tomorrow. So with that said, let's see what's happening on Sheffield's music scene. Charlie XCX, who is well known for singing Fancy with Iggy Azalea and Boom Clap from The Fault in Our Stars, is coming to Sheffield tomorrow. The 20-year-old will be performing at Plug, performing her new collaborative album, Sucker. Only people aged 14 and above will be admitted to this gig, but if that's you, then doors open at 7:30 p.m. and tickets cost £15. For those more with classical tastes, the Sheffield Chamber Choir is going to be performing at St Mary's Cathedral this evening. The programme includes Franz Liszt's Via Crucis and Howell's Requiem. You can catch all that and more from 7:30 till 9:30 p.m, and tickets are available for seniors and students. And finally, the prolific venue South Sea Live in Broomhill are hosting a Black Mass Sunday night on, you guessed it, Sunday evening. The former frontman from Iron Maiden, Blaze Bayley, will be there, as well as Sheffield bands Havana Rocks, Fear Lies and Immension. This is a night of heavy metal that promises to be a wild affair. Advance tickets are just £5. You can get in on the door for £7. Check out South Sea on Facebook for more details. Pop, classical and rock. Sheffield certainly knows how to do variety. But moving away from music, it's time to see what's coming up in art and culture. Now, you may have heard of the Chuckle Brothers and you may have heard of the Wizard of Oz. Well, on Saturday, you'll get a dose of both, as the Chuckle Brothers will be at the Lyceum to give you the Chuckles of Oz, a sensational new version of the Wizard of Oz classic featuring Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow, and Paul and Barry Chuckle as the two Wizards of Oz. Made for the ages of 3 to 103, audiences will get a unique glimpse into the Emerald City in this laugh-out-loud family fun-packed show. The show begins at 2 p.m. and tickets cost £14.50. National Theatre Connections is playing at the Studio Theatre in the Crucible tonight and tomorrow. The festival showcases 6 exciting plays from young theatre companies in the region. Up tonight there is Follow Follow by Kate Douglas, performed by the Rotherham College of Arts and Technology, and The Accordion Shop by Cush Jumbo, performed by Cardi Academy. There's more to come tomorrow, of course. Check out the Sheffield Theatre's website to see what's in store. The doors open for this at 7:15 p.m. And lastly, if you fancy yourself as a bit of a singer, head over to Meadowhall next Wednesday for the X Factor auditions. The ITV smash hit is starting a new run and is looking for fresh new talent. This is the second year that Meadowhall has played host to the X Factor, and maybe this year could be your chance. Auditions will be taking place between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. and is welcome to anyone just to turn up and perform. Plenty of things to see there, and even a great chance to get involved and get your own talent out there. Now, on tonight's show, it's time to take a look at a great Sheffield landmark, Bishop's House. Located up at the top end of Mearsbrook Park, this is an old Tudor building which is thought to be the birthplace of 2 prominent English bishops. We went along to see what is in store for visitors at this fascinating attraction.
Well, my name's Ken. I'm one of the volunteers that helps run Bishop's House. The building itself, as far as we know, is about 500 years old. That's when it was first built, about 1500. That's the part over there. 50 years later, the part we're standing in now, where you're filming me, was added as an extension. Then during the Civil War, the third bit was added as an extension. It was basically a farmhouse for the Blythe family. They were yeoman farmers. They used it till 1735, and then they moved away and sold up and we've got the Roebuck family from 1753 to 1781. They sold up, and then the Shaw family had it from 1781 right through to the middle of the 19th century. After that, we've got farmers living in the building until 1886, when Sheffield Corporation took it over, and they put park keepers and gardeners there until 1973, when it was made into a museum. That's a potted history of 500 years of Bishop's House. But it's a magical place. We still haven't found out everything about it. Timber frame buildings like this are extremely rare in this part of the country. It's almost unique. And we're still investigating the construction of the building and its many secrets. In Bishop's House, a couple of years ago, I was going up and down the timbers with a high-intensity light to look for carpenter's marks, which I found. But I also came across something like over 50 witches' marks. They're small circles, they're called daisy wheels. They run from the 15th through to the 18th century, and they were used probably by the carpenters who built the door. They're a very superstitious bunch, and it's to sort of bless the building against, to ward off evil spirits, witches, whatever you want. Upstairs, we found burn marks in the wood, and again, they were put there as, if you like, an act of superstition to bless the building against fire. It's a deliberate act, it's not someone being careless with a candle. We believe that alongside, if you like, Christianity, there was a lot of superstition in this age. People were recording their religious devotion, their superstitions, to go alongside Christianity. It probably was never approved of. That's why they're done in out-of-the-way places. It's only now, hundreds of years later, we're beginning to find out about this. It's a secret history of a lot of these old buildings.
My name is Nick Roscoe. I'm the Secretary of Friends of Bishop's House, and we're a charity. We started about 5 years ago, initially more like a protest group really. We were concerned that we'd heard that the building might be closed to the public, and we knew that Museum Sheffield was short of funding. So when that was confirmed, we had talks with Sheffield Council, and in the end actually ended up managing opening the building. So for the last 4 years we've been opening up Bishop's House. And as well as being a museum that's open at the weekends between 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock, we put lots of events on in the evenings, and we're always trying to find new ways to use the building really. But we also open to school visits, and we also got weddings. That's proving really interesting for a lot of people. We've had a few bookings, and that's an important source of revenue. It's such an old, characterful old building that obviously, although we've not got huge capacity, some people love a little wedding here. For the future, we're hoping that we can develop, and at the moment we're just purely a voluntary organisation, but if we could get some paid staff in here to move things on, that would be brilliant. It's a really valuable resource in our local community, but further afield, as Ken was saying, in the whole region, it's actually really fascinating historically. We're looking forward to developing. At the moment we're all volunteers. What we'd like to do is get some funds to actually start getting some paid staff in and really develop what we're offering to its full potential. The main way that we can get funding is there's a Heritage Lottery Fund, and we want to apply for Heritage Lottery funding, and that's government funding that's especially for heritage groups like us. And we also want to become an accredited museum. When Museum Sheffield ran the building, obviously Museum Sheffield's an accredited museum. Well, we want to be accredited again with the Arts Council, and that will open up funding sources as well. But mostly we're just about celebrating the building and keeping it open to the public and trying to get as many people here as possible and just thinking of different ways that we can use the building. I think well, there's no reason why it can't always be kept open. I think it's a shame that it ever talks about it being closed, but there are always going to be people like us that want to keep it open. But and it's just really just about putting the word out and making people know that it's here, and people keep coming and people keep wanting to volunteer and get involved. We're desperate for volunteers actually, so if anybody would like the idea of coming along at weekend and have just got like a morning or an afternoon to spare to give a bit of time to come and help, that would be great, and that's really what we're all about, just all of us just sort of mucking in and just keeping the building open to the public.
So that was a small peek into the wonders of Bishop's House. It's open at the weekends and admission is free, so go over there and check it out. There's so much happening in Sheffield, it's a miracle anyone has time to catch their breath. Here's a selection of things you could be running about doing in the community in the next few days. Abbeydale Picture House is the place to be tomorrow, as from 11 in the morning to 5 o'clock there is going to be a food and produce market. It's going to contain local and street food with kids' entertainment and other performances. Entrance is £2, except for kids that get to go for free. Later on tomorrow night, why not visit the Walkley Community Centre? They're hosting the Sheffield Spring Contra, a fun-filled night with music performances from the English Contra Dance Band. The event starts at 7:30 with a workshop and is then followed by performances from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are £8 unless you're a student, as they will only cost you £6. And as a heads up for next week, Positive Money's Sheffield branch are holding their monthly talk at the Quaker Meeting House on Monday night. This month's speaker is Sarah Mirza, who will be holding forth on the topic of banking and inequality. Positive Money think it has the answers to tackle the problem, but we'll let you be the judge of that. The doors open at 7:50 p.m. and a donation of £3 is suggested. So lots going on there through the weekend and into next week. Now let's see what you could get into seeing at the realm of sport this weekend. Time to get out to support one of this city's most successful clubs, Sheffield United, as they're up against Crewe tomorrow at Bramall Lane. With luck, the Blades can repeat their 2-0 defeat of Crewe in the FA Cup last November. They won their last League One match against Scunthorpe, so it looks like the team are on a roll. Let's hope they can keep it up. Then on Sunday, there is going to be a rugby match between the Sheffield Eagles and the Hunslet Hawks. The Eagles have won their last 5 games, while the Hunslet Hawks have been struggling a bit more in the last month. Fingers crossed for the game then, which will take place at 4:15 at Keepmoat Stadium. And finally, we've got more action in the Squash Sheffield and District League. Hallamshire 6, captained by Josh Parks, will be taking on Abbeydale 4, who are led by Simon Tibbett. They'll be playing at Hallamshire's home ground at the corner of Hunter's Bar. If you think trying your hand at squash sounds good, Abbeydale run beginner sessions on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Both clubs welcome new members, so do go get involved. Who knows, it could be your name coming up on What's On. So that's all we have today in the listings. We hope something in there tickled your fancy. Remember, you can let us know about any events you've got coming up by emailing us on whatson@sheffieldlive.org. Now on What's On, we're going to take a look at an interview recorded earlier this week with Joe Watt, the development manager of St Mary's Church on Bramall Lane and one of the organisers behind the Sheffield Makers Fair, which is being held there tomorrow. Jasmine Sahu went to speak with Joe about the fair and what lies in store for anyone heading down there this weekend.
Sheffield Makers Fair is one of a series of events that St Mary's runs under the brand of Mary's Marvellous. And it's a collection of people who are passionate about making really good quality items, whether they're prints or ceramics or wooden items that wood turners come along and sell their wares. For us, it's a way of connecting with a community of makers, of crafters, of really good quality, and making friends with people in the public who come along and enjoy the fairs here at St Mary's and get to enjoy and look at and buy, if they so choose, a whole range of wonderful products. Some of the wares could be fairly familiar in Sheffield terms names. So at the very first Makers Fair we had Henderson's Relish, which everyone knows is a wonderful quality Sheffield product. However, we've got at this fair a whole range of people. So Callie Higginbottom, she runs something called Chocolate, and she makes fabulous artisan handcrafted chocolates. And I've seen kind of Callie's work, her products being made, and so much care and attention goes to every individual item. Sarah Watson, who comes and makes beautiful silver jewellery, and no two pieces are exactly the same. Everything's quite unique and different. James Green, who's a printmaker, he's been a friend of Mary's Marvellous Fairs for some time, and he does fantastic cards and prints, and he's introducing other items now as well. So some real contemporary makers and crafters, but each of them, I guess, really passionate and committed to what they do and deliver. My colleagues are amazing at transforming this space into all sorts of different guises and for different purposes. But on Saturday, if you come into this space, there will be bunting, there'll be a real buzz of noise, lots of friendly faces, lots of tables filled with beautiful different items that you can look at and browse. There are things that are relatively cheap, so people like James Green, for example, comes along and sells cards and postcards and so on that are quite affordable to more exotic and expensive gifts that people could buy that are, again, are handcrafted and unique.
This is also a fundraising event, so where will that money go?
St Mary's, we charge a very small entrance fee, and there's also a fabulous cafe that opens every time we run an event here with really good quality, made from scratch, delicious food. There's something for everyone from vegans to meat eaters. There's a fantastic cafe. So the profits of that we make, so from the entrance fee and from the cafe, all go to support a whole range of community activities. So the people here are amazing. They all kind of morph and do lots of different activities and run lots of different projects here. So as I say, English classes, we've got a Time Builders project that where we work with people who are recovering from mental health issues or addiction. They garden, they litter pick in the area, they arrange fantastic, vibrant social events that they come along to. We work with local organisations as well to help deliver that. But all of the money that we earn from fairs and so on is channeled back into all those community activities that take place on a daily basis here.
Are you going to be holding more fairs in the future?
We hold fairs regularly. We've got a vintage fair coming up in May. We've got a really big event, a bit of a kind of an urban fete at the end of June, on the 27th of June. So there'll be lots of fun activities then. There'll be another Makers Fair in the autumn prior to Christmas. Even if you don't buy, it's lovely to see the kind of effort and the fruits of people's labour, to talk to people who are really passionate about what they do, to think about something that you might want to get for someone at another point in time. It's joining up all those dots between people within communities that are doing all sorts of different things, have all sorts of different skills and talents, and connecting, those of us like me who perhaps aren't so skilled and talented with other people who appreciate what other people can contribute.
Thank you very much to Jo Watts for talking with What's On about that exciting event. The fair is £1 entry and will run from 10 AM to 4 PM tomorrow. What's On are going to be there checking out the fair for themselves, so tune in to find out what it was like next Wednesday. So that concludes tonight's show. Remember, if you know about anything going on, please email us your events and listing information to whatson@sheffieldlive.org, or you can contact us via Facebook and Twitter at Sheffield Live. What's On will be back Monday with Laura Belinsky just after 6 PM. Now, on Sheffield Live, we have our daily news programme, so stay tuned to find out more about this exciting city of ours. But for now, thank you for watching, good night, and enjoy your weekend.